going to kick this off. Tonight, we are going to be making a nature-based swag. And you may be looking at this going, that doesn't look like a swag. Ladies and gentlemen, from the $5 section, five below, this technically is a Christmas tree. I took off the stand, but this is a Christmas tree. I got it, I think by the time I got it on sale, they were marked down to $7. So this is a big metal pole, and it's just wrapped with these. What I've done is just kind of put a little zip tie right around here to kind of hang it from, put it upside down, and it's a swag. And it works great. When I'm done, this may be a little long, so I might give these a little trimmy when I've got the mesh and everything else in there. But these are a fantastic and affordable way to make yourself a swag base. And I think these are pretty fun. Uh-oh. Nevia, you have no volume. Can you guys hear me? Are you guys able to hear me? Sometimes you may have to click on your video and kind of crank the volume up. But can someone let me know if you can hear me okay? I was having trouble with this the other day too. I don't know if it's mine. Are we all good? Can you hear me now? Is it any better? Let me put a comment on there. Can everyone hear me? You can. Okay. Excellent. Okay, great. Can you hear me now? Awesome. Okay, so we're going to be decorating this now. To fill this out, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to use this 10-inch white mesh. Now, it's white and it has, let me show you closer. It'll see better this way. It's got a bit of a silver stripe through there. So I'm going to kind of make poofs through that. And then I'm going to go back in and put in cruffles with this mesh. Now, this is pretty airy. So right now it kind of looks like this, all nice and silvery. But it's really airy. Once you look at a single piece, let me pull it off. I'm going to make cruffles with this. It's kind of thin. It's kind of thin. So it's going to it'll add some punch when I get it in there, but that's why I want to put the white in as the base. And then we're going to be adding these two beautiful pine cones in here, along with some really nice 4-inch silver ribbon. But we're also going to be adding in, if I can get one of these, adding in these. Now, I picked these up. These are silver, but then there's like a little bit of, it's like a champagne gold. It's not a gold. It's a very light champagne gold, right? So these are going to kind of go in there. So we're kind of like mixing. We got the silver and the silver with a little bit of gold. We're going to play off that champagne gold by adding in some of these leaves. And then I also picked up some of these too at the Hobbs Lobs last night. So we're going to be doing that. And then I also, from the at-home store, so these came from the at-home store for $7.99. They're super lightweight, which is why I thought they'll go great on this base. But then there's also these ornaments, which I thought were pretty cool. It kind of still brings in that whole, this looks like a pine cone kind of feeling. So we've got those too. We're going to try to do like a bow, loop it down, have a pine cone, loop the bow, and then have another pine cone down at the bottom. So it's going to maintain that teardrop shape. All right. So I'm making sure I have my computer here so I can see my comments better this time. Nevia, I'm not sure why it's so low on your. Sometimes if it's on a phone, it might not be as loud. Maybe there might be volume controls on the actual video itself. All right. So we're going to start with, this is a 10-inch mesh. I'm just going to drop it to the floor. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Okay. I'm going to start by making a poof. So I'm going to grab this. Okay. Just grab it together. And I want to make a poof. Kind of just like that, right? And I'm going to start up here. And I'm just going to kind of put that poof right in the back. And I'm just going to twist it right into here, all right? So I'm just twisting that right in. That's going to stay. All right. Bringing this down. Now this is going to be kind of like a lighter and airier type of wreath, because this is, you know, the frame is really lightweight, so it's not a whole lot to it. So I can't really add all that much, which is why I'm trying to keep it light. Okay. Here we go. I'm just going to kind of go down one side and come up the next. So I'm going to grab this again, make another set of poofs. Go down this way. I may end up using this entire roll just because I want to have enough for all this stuff to attach to. Okay. And you see how like these are really sticking out far. That's why when we're done, I'm going to go through, and these longer ones, I can just go through with my snips and just cut them down. I really wish for this that I had had a long enough pine teardrop swag, but unfortunately I used it for my nutcracker, and I thought I had another one and I didn't. So yeah, sucks to be me and not have enough stuff of all the stuff. And believe me, I've got like a warehouse going on in I literally do have a warehouse in my garage. And I thought I had enough, but I did not. All right. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. And I'm just finding on the right-hand side here, just finding some tines, kind of twist this in here and pull it down a little bit, make it a little bit, this one can be a little bit smaller. There we go. Oh, sorry. My hands and my brain are just not functioning right now. My daughter and I were scrambling, trying to find little things she can use for this. She has to bring in materials to do a science project tomorrow. And I was like, I don't know what to bring her to get her. So I was like, let's go in my craft space. She has to do basically create like a diorama sort of a cell. So she needed something as a cell membrane. So I grabbed a Dollar Tree wreath frame. There you go. It's round. All right. All right, it's going to go down. And I am making these poofs a little bit smaller, kind of like the further down I go, and not as big, right? All right. It's still looking pretty good, filling it out nicely. I haven't been to Five Below yet this year, so I don't know if they've got these again. I'm hoping they do. Like, why wouldn't they, right? That's what I thought about the candy cane forms at Dollar Tree last year. Why wouldn't they have them, Linda? Well, guess what? You cursed yourself because they don't have many more, Linda. Good job. Still very upset and bitter about that, but that's okay. I'll get over it. No, I won't. All right, here we go. Now the tines get smaller as we go further down. Come on, I got a little string. Let me just snippy. They're getting a little smaller, so it's a little trickier to kind of work with. But I'm still able to get these in there, so going down. And then the very bottom one is like always super, super long because technically that is like the top of the tree. All right. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to get my head out of the way so you guys can see. Just twisting this. Trying to figure out how far down to go. But I'm trying to spread it out as well to kind of give it some... I want it to take up as much room as I can, leverage all that. Okay. Down at the bottom, I think we're good. I don't think I need to put any more down there. Now I'm going to try to start coming back up. Okay. So here we go. Coming back up. Trying to go on the sides here. Oh, I got to bend over to do this. Oh, not good at bending over. That's what she said. No, really, I'm not. And we're going to end up covering this down here with a bow anyway. I like to have like a nice pretty bow up at the top and then kind of like a loopier one kind of maybe one that has just like a single loop, like with the tail, because this is going to be just 4-inch. I normally put more ribbons in here, but I'm trying a new technique, so you guys get to watch me do it, and we can see if we like it or not. But you know, sometimes like you're crafting stuff, you just kind of get sick of doing things the same way. I don't want to do that, especially when I'm trying to share things with you guys. We're trying to try new things all the time. So we'll see what this turns out to be. Here we go. All right, now we're getting back into the larger ones again, so it's a little bit easier for me to get this stuff in there. That was being really tricky. Those tiny ones, they are really attached, man. They're a little hard to move. I'm gonna bring this back up, and I'm trying to like go in so I'm not quite at the exact same spot on the other side. We don't want it to look too matchy-matchy in terms of where we're putting the mesh in. There we go. This is looking pretty. It's filling out more than I thought. I was honestly a little bit worried when I first started. I was like, uh-oh, this is gonna be too skinny. We doing too skinny here, but I don't think so. I think we're good. All right. Just try to make sure I'm only grabbing 2 of these branches too. I don't want to grab more than that. All right. I'm just coming up on the other side. So just doing the same thing on this side that we did on the other side, just in reverse. All right. Da, 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 da. This is exciting. I'm going to check my comments. Okay, Dory can hear me. Okay, awesome. Dollar Tree has them in California. Okay, I'm on a plane. I'm going to get a ticket. I'm coming right out. We could not find them. I've been to a bunch here in the Midwest. My friend Ravenna called corporate, and they said that they weren't making them this year. So maybe they were like leftover ones that they had from last year that they put back out. But I would say if you can get them, grab them. All right. There we go. All right. Just trying to make sure that I don't actually poke one of these like through the middle of the thing. Here we go. We're going to try to go move it on up. We're moving on up, moving on up. All right. I'm going to go a little bit closer toward the top just so I can fill it out more. But so far, so good. Feeling good. I mix up for my bladder. Everything else is fine. There we go. Oh. All right, I'm trying to make sure I kind of come out the same way on that side. Is my head getting in your guys' way too much? I'm trying not to get my head in there. I washed my hair, but the rest of my face don't look so great, so you know. I don't want to scare anybody. But things ain't pretty in Lindaville today. Nope, nope, nope. All right, let's see if I can get 2 more twists out of this. Try to do one here. All right. So get one in here. And then I'm going to do a final one. Up at the top here, I'm going to do the same thing I did where I'm going to kind of loop it over. So this is my final one, okay? I'm going to create my loop. Right, I have my big old loop. And I'll loop it over. But I want to have enough that I can just kind of go back behind so I'm going to cut it off like back there essentially when I'm done. Here we go. Go between these 2. But I don't want to cut it off yet until I make sure that the size of it is good. Yep. What I also have to make sure is the pole is coming up to here. So I have to be able to cover that. And I'm also going to cover it probably a lot with, you know what? I'm putting another one in, kind of on the way down here. You'll never notice it, but I just feel like I want to put in a little bit more in this particular spot. So I'm just bringing it back down. All right. Give it a good old twist, nice and tight. There we go. Here's that. Okay, I'm going to cut this off here. All right. And I'm just going to take a zip tie because I want to make sure that this mesh doesn't come off. So I'm just going to take that mesh and just run a zip tie around the back so that it is kind of up against the pole. I probably didn't need that wide of a zip tie, but there we go. All right. Just in case anybody opens the branches, I don't want my mesh falling out, you know. That would be embarrassing. That'd be like getting caught naked. Okay. So now we have this, which is cool, nice, and fluffy. But I still want to build it out a little bit more. So I have these. And again, this is mainly to kind of add color. This was mesh from Joann, and it was kind of the only silver that I had. So I'm just going to create cruffles with this. So we're just going to kind of, look over here. Try to look over here if you can. I'm just going to roll it in from the outside a couple times, okay? That can go away. Rolling in 1, 2, 3. This is going to keep it from meshing. So 1, 2, from this is kind of what it looks like, okay? And now we're just going to roll it up. Now I've got a cruffle, and I can open this up. The points where I had this in here, and I'm just going to add in some mesh. This is just going to give it more places for my attachments to kind of glue into and hold on to. And as we go through, there's going to be, I call them the straight chin hairs. We're gonna get a couple of those, and we'll get them out. We'll get them out. Tina, hey, how's it going, girl? I hope you are doing good. Driftwood Hill Design, excellent. Okay, good. I'm glad that my head ain't getting in the way of the swag. Or my chubby arms. I don't want anyone to see my chubby arms either. I don't care. I just don't, you know. It ain't the prettiest thing in the world for you guys to look at. So, all right. So I'm just going to undo where I had this in here, stick it in, and then retwist. And it's just adding a little bit more volume right in here. I'm going to try to go through this relatively quickly. While I do this, I can let you guys know I had a craft show last weekend, and based on the one before it, I was a little nervous based on, you know, how was it going to do? Because the one before it was terrible. And it was a fabulous show. I sold 10 tomato cage trees, 1 wreath, a couple little bells, and then mostly bows. So if you do craft shows, do the bows. Because I know you guys make bows. You might as well sell your bows. A lot of people came up and they're like, you know, I like to craft, but I have trouble with bows, so I'm just going to buy a couple of yours. And I was like, okay, if you need bows, I am your gal. Right? So it worked out really well. I had like my $5 bow bin that worked well, and then a couple of people took advantage of my offer, spent $30 on bows. Get a free grapevine wreath because they're about like $5 on the contractor pack once you get them from Michael's. So that worked out well. The crowds at this particular show, I can't remember how many people were there, but it was at a local community college, but it was hosted by Craft Productions, which is, they're awesome. They always do a really great job. But the crowd, I mean, it was a steady stream of people, which was great. The first day, and this is why I have a bladder infection. The first day, I did not pee at all the entire time. And that was like 8 hours. So now I know why I'm suffering and have not been feeling well. I did it to myself. But, you know, I'll deal with it. I was making sales, though. So, you know, it was a good trade-off. It was a good trade-off. It was not bad. Not bad at all. Loading up was cold. It was 30 degrees when I got back in my car. So my dad was helping me. I have the best dad in the entire world. He helped me. I had the best mom because she was staying here and watching my kid who wasn't feeling good. So it was a family affair. But it was nice. People were shopping. they weren't walking around with like particularly huge packages, but I mean, they were shopping and buying, which is good. You know, it's kind of what we want to see. I always like to see from the people who are going by, like, how big are the bags? Can you, like, what is in the bags? Are they sticking with mainly small gifts? Are they buying decor? People were buying decor. But then again, a lot of people came to the show specifically with the intent to buy holiday decor. So these are obviously people who are, you know, were financially okay enough to not have to be concerned with the current economic, you know, situation that we're going through. All right. Here we go. And then I'm going to put them on the other side. So I'm kind of just going down the one side right now. I'll go put them off the other side. This isn't really the fun part of wreath making, guys. This ain't the fun part. Like, this isn't like the, ooh, let's add the ribbon and get it all looking cool. No, this is the work part. Not my favorite. But when I put glue in here and I attach things, I just wanted to have enough stuff to attach to. So this is a necessary, I'm not going to call it a necessary evil because there's nothing evil at all about making wreaths. Except when Joanne goes out of business. That was evil in me. And yeah, I'm still bitter. I think I always will be. She broke my heart. It's especially sad as I'm using up the last of some picks that I know came from Joanne. It's just, part of me is like, I don't want to use the last of it because it's the last of it, you know? But I can't hold on to everything. If you look downstairs in my basement, though, it kind of looks like I hold on to everything. I'm going to do some Swedish death cleaning in January. I don't want my kids to have to deal with the whole mess. Should I suddenly expire, and I don't want to leave them a whole bunch of crap that they don't want. But mainly ribbon. They're going to be like, I don't need any more ribbon. And I'm going to be like, too bad. That's what you inherit from me. Sorry, kids. That's what you get. All right. So you can see how it's like filling out real nice on that side. I got to go and fill in some more. So I'm just going to turn it a little bit so I don't have to stick my head in front of you guys so much. I have to say, this is not my favorite mesh. It's kind of fraying a lot. I'm glad I'm rolling it and using Cruffles. It's not going to fray once I do that, but it's really light and thin. So this was not my favorite mesh, I'd have to say. Definitely not. But it's getting the job done. So I don't want to hurt its feelings. I'm sorry. Maybe it can hear me. I don't want it to be angry. I'm sorry. Please don't take it personally, mesh. I don't mean it. I do have another roll of this if I end up needing to cut more. I think I got like about 3 or 4 more pieces. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut more. Unless, yeah, I'm going to have to cut more. Which I'm just going to do manually before I cut it with the, you know, my mesh roller and whatnot. I'll just unroll it and cut it with the scissors. I'm going to go old school with that. All right. Put it in and twist. All right, where's my next one? I'm just going to undo it, make it easier for me. Boom. I, to tell you the truth, was not planning to do such a large project tonight. But I went to the at-home store yesterday. Went a little crazy. I had $65 in rewards to use. And yesterday was the last day to, if you spent like $40, you got a bunch of free ornaments. I was like, well, might as well. It's right by my painted tree location that I'm pulling out of in January. Yeah, I'm sick of paying money every month. I'm not making anything there, so I'm getting out of that. I tried for 3 years. I gave it a good try. I had different priced items. There's just a lot of empty booths, which to me shows that it's not just a problem with, you know, was I pricing it wrong? Did I not have good enough stuff? No, I think it's a foot traffic issue for that particular location. I can't speak for all painted trees. I'm just talking about my particular experience at the one that I am currently at. All right. I think I'm going to have to cut 2 pieces. Ah, dang it. Where did I put that mesh? There it is. No, it turns out I have to cut one. No, I don't, because I have one over here already. Praise Jesus. Yay. It's a Christmas miracle. I had literally the exact amount of pieces I needed. Woohoo! All right. There we go. There we go. This is turning out a little big and chubby. I'm going to go through now and kind of just trim some of these just so it's not super, super long. And mainly just the ones at the top. I've had to do these on other swags I've gotten before, like even like ones that I've got from like Craft Outlet and whatnot. They were just a little too long. I'm only taking about off like 1 inch to 2 inches. Yeah, just a little bit. Just the tip. All right, there we go. And it cuts really easy. It's not hard to cut at all. Slices through there real nice. Okay, so that is what we have for there. Now I'm going to get my ribbon. And I think I am going to use a white pipe cleaner to attach it. So this is ribbon. This is California Floral and Home. To be honest, I don't know where I got this from. I did buy a lady's stash who had passed away. This could have come from her stash. I'm not entirely sure. But this is really nice. It does have really nice backing on the back, foil. So we're gonna make a bow kind of up that way. All right, so I'm gonna attach it like right in here. So I think that is good. So I'm gonna do this, pinch and twist. Let me see. Is that too big of a loop? No, I think that's good. All right. Hold it in my hand, which is hard for me to do. You know I'm not good at this. If you've watched me, you know that I struggle with this. All right. Yeah, I just dropped the whole roll on the floor. It's easier that way. All right. We're going to pinch and twist. Oh, Jesus. Oh, okay. That way. That way. Pinching, twisting. Bringing this around. And let's see. Yeah, that's pretty good, actually. Surprisingly, yay! All right. I am going to just fasten this with a pipe cleaner right now. Just temporarily. Okay? Because I may also be putting in some gold. Hold on. It didn't end up being as even as I thought, so I'm just kind of making sure. Yeah, that'll look good. All right, I like that. That would be good. Just give it a twist on the back. This is kind of just temporary. I'm going to add another layer on. Okay. And I'm going to keep this part. Let me untwist this. Oh my gosh. That thing, that really helicoptered on the way down, man. Okay. Okay. So we're going to have that there, there, there. This is going to come down. And I am going to be using this to kind of like cascade and kind of cascade down. So I am just going to let that drop. I'm not cutting this for right now. Okay. But what I want to do is I'm just going to let that sit in there for a second. I am playing around with the idea of adding in also a little bit of this champagne color, and I kind of think I want to. I kind of think I do. All right. So I've got another pipe planer that I can do for that. So this, I'm going to just kind of bend it. This is not, so this was Joanne ribbon. Okay. This is not the highest quality ribbon, but the color is good. It's not super stiff. I'm not going to make the comments. I'm not making the comment. But I think I'm going to do another layer of this inside. So this would be there. Bring this out a little bit. Okay. Do a little pinch and twist. Bring this in again. Maybe a little bit more. Yep, seems good. Okay. So I'm going to take this pipe planer, go like this, and then just twist this. Okay. Then I can just kind of twist them on top of each other, or I can just open that up and put this in here in order to kind of get my whole thing going. I think I'm just going to take it out of the pipe planers. Now that I kind of held it, I liked it. I confirmed that I was good with it. All right. Pipe cleaner out. Layer these on. Okay. All right. And then bring the pipe cleaner back. I don't normally make a ribbon by hand, so the fact that I've even gotten this far, I've amazed myself tonight. All right, here we go. All right, so there we go. This is not, this silver one also is not the thickest that I've ever seen either, so we have to see what that does. All right, so we're going to attach this in here. So I'm just going to feed this pipe cleaner. Hopefully that's nice and tight. And go all the way through. So it's going to straddle the center of this tree. All right. Let me see if I like that height or if I want it taller. Now, if this were any thicker, I would have doubled up my pipe cleaner, made it twice as long, but it's not particularly long. So I'm good with it. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, I'm just going to twist this right behind here. It's literally the pipe cleaner. I'm twisting it right up against the pole that is the center of the tree. Just twisting the whole pipe cleaner all together so it makes one piece, and then I tuck the rest of it back in. So now I have my hands free finally, thank God. All right, I'm gonna go that way. I'm gonna go in that way with this. All right, so I can pull this in a little bit. I think that's a little long, so let me try to pull this layer a little bit. See if I like it. No, doesn't feel right to me. If I can steal a little bit of, there we go. There we go. That's what I've done wrong. All right, so now we got that going this way. This is going to be able to kind of come down. This can maybe go on the other side, or they can stay together. I haven't really decided yet, but what I want to talk about next is bringing in these acorns. I have already gone around here with glue just to glue the top of this thing onto the acorn so it doesn't pop off. And then I'm going to cut this silver thing because I want to attach these on there with zip ties. All right. So I'm going to leave these cute little silver things on there. They were cute. And I'm just going to run a zip tie. Right. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use a white pipe cleaner. Because that'll let me control the bend a little bit better. So I'm going to use a white pipe cleaner. Okay. So I'm going to go in here just like this. Double it up. Okay. Just give it a twist. All right. And then now try to figure out where's a good spot for it. So I think I want to have this. We're going to have this come down, and then one of these is going to come out. And then it's going to kind of cross over. Okay. So, I'll do this first. Get my little cascade. And I'm going to have that cascade right into here. I'm just going to open that up, put it in, and repinch it. All right. There we go. I like that. It's kind of cute. Okay. And then move this over. So roughly right around here. And boy, there's a lot of silver in there. That's a lot of silver picks to pick from. Now there's a little seam here. So I'm going to try to make sure I twist that. So that kind of goes into here. Okay. So then I'm going to take that pipe cleaner, and like I did with the bow, I'm just going to go on either side and straddle that Christmas tree. All right, I'm bringing it around to the back. I can almost feel both pieces of the pipe cleaner. There we go. All right, and now I'm just going to put my hand behind here, and I'm just going to twist them. All right. Twist, twist, twist. Okay. That is so cute. I really like it. All right. And then I want to bring this. I'm thinking about kind of like crossing it down. Okay, maybe doing like another little cascade here. So it's going to go right down into here. Okay, and I'm just going to grab the other. There we go. All right. And the cool thing is I can just open it back up. If I feel like this is too tight, it's too loose, I don't like it, you know, whatever I need to do, I can totally do, right? Not that way. So I'm going to bring this one. I'm going to pull this one up just a little bit just to give it a little extra room so it's not like super tight up against the silver. Okay. It's kind of going that way. All right. So now I'm going to take my other big pine cone. Let's get that silver one off of there. Let's put our thing through this. And let me check. I haven't checked comments in a while, so I'm sorry. Let me go check. Well, hello there, everybody. I just feel bad I have not been saying hello to everybody. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You know, I did look into rustic fox. I know you have to give some time there, but I wasn't really sure their aesthetic matched me. And then honestly, I got so financially burned by where I'm at that I'm a little leery to do it again at this point. I think focus on online is going to kind of be where I'm trying to focus for now, but I might, because everybody says rustic fox is great. I know they've got multiple locations now. So I think they've got one that's up more by, is it West Chicago or St. Charles? One up that way in addition to the North Aurora. North Aurora would be closest to me, but maybe they could be too busy or too full up. I don't know. Okay, I'm wrapping this around the back of the tree. I don't want to pull too tight. I don't want them to come straight out, right? Because like, I want them to be able to go, you know, well, sideways. Look a little natural, not like they're standing at attention like I got them too excited, you know. Okay. And now I'm going to kind of come down with the cascade down toward the bottom. So I'm bringing it down. I'm trying to find, here we go. I'm trying to find some branches I can use. Here we go. Bringing it right in here. Twisting it. Okay. So now at the very bottom, and I'm hoping you guys can see the bottom. I know you just saw the back of my head. I'm going to cut this one on an angle. And this one I'm going to cut like down here because I'm going to fold it up like the other one was. So I fold once, twice, 3 times a lady. Out. So that one's going to go to the outside. That one came to the inside. So we've got that, but I do also want to put just maybe another set of tails down here at the bottom, or maybe even a loop. So I'm going to do that real quick. All right. I got my ribbon deck up off the floor, and I'm going to literally, I think, just do a loop. Maybe some more tail. Well, I don't know. Maybe I should do 2 loops. I don't want it to look too bowy at the bottom, though, you know? But I don't know. Maybe I'll do it. I'm going to do that. But honestly, I'm kind of good with having just the one tail. No, I need another tail. I need another tail. All right. But I don't want a piece coming up necessarily. So I'm going to just kind of do, got a loop, twist, pinch, and then probably cut it off. Stop turning around on me, dude. Right down here. All right. And again, I'm just going to temporarily put a pipe cleaner around that. All right. So I don't lose it, because I do want to make sure to add in a little bit of my champagne color. Okay, so here we go. I didn't put a tail. I just did start on the back. I just did a loop and a tail, right? So it's going to kind of look like that. So that's really all I need. So then I do the same thing here with, I'm just going to start with a loop. Pinch and twist. And the loop. Okay. And a tail. I'll measure that up against the other one in a minute. Okay. All right. Here we go. I'm just going to open this one up. Layer that on top. And then put that back on there. Then I'll do just what I did at the top. Oops, hold on. All right, so here's that other bow. It literally just has one tail, because I've got a tail coming down on the other side. So I didn't need to do that. And I'm going to pinch these together. All right, so I'm just going to go down at the bottom here. I can just wrap this right around the bottom. Okay. One set of tail there. I still have to fold that one up a little bit on the bottom. So give me just a second. I forgot to do that. But then it kind of looks like I made a bow with 2 loops and 2 tails, but those 2 tails actually came from the cascade above. So it kind of worked out cool. All right. I'm liking that. Looking good. All right. All right. We got all this stuff in. Let me get the ribbon out of the way, and then we can talk some other stuff. Now, I don't think I'm using any more of this, but I may be using some more of that just to add a couple other little accents, potentially. Not sure. But what I wanted to do now is talk about the things that I'm going to put in here. So I have silver leaves. Oh my gosh, hold on, I got a bin. I got all sorts of stuff. I got silver leaves, I got champagne leaves. And I got these other little champagne colored. I thought they're so cute. They look like fireworks to me. I just think they're really, really cute. I like that. But these are kind of what I wanted to talk about. So I'm going to try to put these everywhere where I have these kind of nestled, well, are kind of like around there. So I'm going to attach these with white pipe cleaners as well. All right, so I'm doing the same thing, just kind of putting it right through, just like I did with the pine cones. Just give it a little twist, right? But I want to make sure I put one. I've got 4 of these. But I think it may be up here. Maybe up here. Because that's a lot together. I'm going to spread it out. So I think, yeah, that one kind of like right along here, I think would be good. I could just glue it, but these are heavier. So, I mean, if this were like a regular plastic ornament, like that weight as light as the acorns, I could totally do that, but I don't trust it. So, when in doubt, wire it in. But now I personally think that is up too high. I needed to go lower, so I'm going to move this down a little bit. Maybe to right in here. Ooh, these lights are hot. Mama is a sweating like a pig. Sorry. Ooh. I like it. I want to make sure this kind of stays out to the side. So there we go. I like that there. All right. Twisting around the back like I did before. Twist, twist, twist. And then you just poke it back into the swag and nobody ever sees. Nobody knows. That's our little secret. I do have my fingers stuck though on a piece of mesh. So there we go. Okay, so we got one in. Those are cute. I like it. And this I want this to kind of like curve over the top. There we go. Because there's not a whole lot there yet. There will be. That's where we're going to put the leaves in. Doing the stuff like that, right? The time for our leaves. It is a coming. It is a coming. All right, so we got one there. Let me grab another one. I think what I might end up doing is putting one of these here. That looks a little bit better. A little less bulky. All right. So I've got 4 of these. Let me see where else. I can't see the other side of the swag, so I got to go behind the camera and take a look. I'm sorry. I think maybe down here. Not even, but down. See what I'm saying? How they're not directly across from each other. One is a little lower, because otherwise it looks like, it just looks weird that way. All right. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm hugging my swag. Oh, swag. I love you. I'll never let go. Oh, a boat. Sorry. All right. I'm really struggling. I am struggling. I can feel the pipe cleaner. I just can't grab it. Son of a gun. There we go. Now I got it. No! Oh, man. Ugh. All right. Learning point, learning moment. Here we go. Popping it back on. You know what I didn't do? You know what I didn't do? I didn't glue around here. So I'm going to do that right now to glue that top on. I'm going to go back to and do that on the one that I just put on there because I forgot to do that. I knew it was too simple. It was too simple. All right. I'm going to go do the other ones while I'm thinking about it. Just adding glue so that topper doesn't come off. I falsely assumed that it was on there nice and tight. You know what happens when you assume. Here we go. Luann, hey, how you doing? Oh, Nevia, you finally got the volume. Yay, yay. Oh, thank you. Oh, awesome. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are waiting. Okay, I'm going to go back again. Apparently didn't wait long enough. Linda, just wait. Just wait, Linda. I'm rushing it. I should have glued these earlier, but I was too busy trying to figure out what we were going to use for my daughter's science project. So there we go. Let that sit. Let it meditate for a moment. We'll move on to one of the other ones. I'll put the pipe cleaner in one of these. We'll see how we can get it going. I like this though. I honestly haven't made anything like white and silver in a really long time. All right, I'm going to move this. I got to angle this sideways because I got to get in here a little better. So I'm coming down here. All right, I feel one. I'm bringing the other around. Am I not? I don't know. Here we go. Okay, yay. All right. I've got both ends of the pipe cleaner now. And if you fight it too, if you're fighting it, then put 2 of them together. Sometimes you can get the extra long pipe cleaners, but I don't buy those. I just put a bunch of them together. All right, so I'm twisting my pipe cleaner behind here. Now, once these are kind of all settled and I like the placement, I will go in when we get more stuff in here and I will add some glue to make sure that they don't move. But so far, so good. All right, so I've got 1, 2. Number 3, where are we going to put this? No. I'm just trying to hold it up, trying to figure out where I kind of like it. And maybe I'm just going to use 3, guys. I think I'm just going to use 3. Because I might put one here. No, but I got the poinsettias. I'm doing that I'm doing the poinsettias. I wonder if that's too close. I also don't want to neglect the bottom, but I think that might be. Actually, no, that looks pretty good down there. It's going to give me a little bit of, it's going to help bring that down toward the bottom. So I am going to put that down there. It's just above the bow. All right. Bring my hand back. I feel like I'm hugging my swag. I love you. I don't want to sell you, but I will. All right. Twisty, twisty, twisty. All right. So tell me, what are your guys' Thanksgiving plans? Are you cooking? Are you going out to a restaurant? Or are you going to eat at someone else's house and make sure that they have the mess and you don't? We're going out, but then we're coming back to my house for dessert. Okay. So I got one there, there. And then I've got another one that I'm kind of thinking like here. Yeah, I like that. All right. Bringing my hand around. I wish there was a way like the comments could like read themselves out loud to me as I was doing this. Hey, Zuckerberg, there's an idea for Facebook. I'll let you have it free of charge. All right. All right. Twisting, twisting, twisting. And bringing back in. All right. All right. So we got that all in there. I like that. Looking cute. Feeling cute. Might be swaggy. All right. Now, these came from Hobby Lobby. These were $2.99 a piece, sticker price. You don't pay $2.99. No, my friends, we do not pay $2.99. I'm going to twist these in. And then I'll hit them with some glue. But I don't need the stem this long, so I'm going to cut off about that much of the stem. That's about 2 to 3 inches. So And I'm not going to open this back up. I'm just going to push this in here and use these tinsel ties to twist it in there. Now they're on a bit of an angle, so it might take me, you know, a couple of tries to do. And then I'll go back in and I'll put my glue gun in there and then I will glue them in. But, like, look at that. Look how perfect that is. I'm in love with that. Amazed. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. All right. That one's in there. Now, I have 5 of these, but I don't know if I need 5. I don't think I need that many, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, I'm going to put another one here. Here we go. Oh, Stephanie, I'm glad you like it. I'm liking this one. And I'm not usually like a rustic kind of gal. I'm also not one that holds on to her stuff because I just dropped it. But I was inspired by the pine cones from the at-home store. I saw those and I was like, oh my. Oh, those are pretty. So when I do put it in there, I'm trying to put it in there this way because you see how that goes up? So that's going to, because if I did it down, then it could kind of like, But if I kind of go that way, it gives it a little bit more to hold on to. So I'm putting it in with the stem kind of going up. And I do have to kind of push it in here a little bit in order to get this twisted in. But then I'm also going to kind of twist it down and around the stem as well. So the stem is kind of like all wrapped around it. Okay. And then that way it's not like pushed in super far, right? That is supposed to be on the outside. There we go. I was like, what am I doing? All right, now I am going to go in and hit it with some glue just to make sure that it stays wrapped around there. But glue should just be in here as like a secondary little, oh, maybe I need a little bit of something. Okay. So I got 1, 2. I got to tell you, I'm kind of playing with the idea of putting one in the center of the bow. Let me set one in there and kind of, Mama likes that. Mama likes that a lot. Mama's going to do that. Let's do it. Now, I don't have to actually put it in the bow, but I'm just trying to find the metal prongs that are above and below because I can use those to twist it in. All right. Okay, so I'm literally just going to, I'm going to twist this around a couple times, but I'm still going to be able to slide this down. Okay, I can slide it down. Okay. And now I'm going to go back and wrap it around the stem even more, just because I want to. A lot of people might think that's overkill. It's in there. You know what? I just want to make sure it ain't coming out. And I can still adjust it up and down. It still slides up and down. Okay. That stick is kind of poking down into the center. All right. Poke it back down. I'm going to get everything adjusted and then I'll go back and hit it with the glue. That one's going to come up. I want to make sure that these gold ones aren't like squished in there, you know. But also I don't want to push that so far in that it pushes that. Okay, so I like that. I think that's good. I'm going to go in, glue it, glue, glue, glue. Also making sure that it hits the ribbon a little bit so it's going to stay. Wow, I really like that. Oh, sexy. I love it when a design comes together. Now, I think I've got there, and that looks naked. So to me, I need to put a fourth one down at the bottom. I just feel like I need to do that. Boom. It's going to go right in there. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get one of these. So I'm going to cut some of this. Not too much, just a little bit. I'm going to leave some of the length on. Boop. But I'm actually going to wrap a pipe cleaner around this. Okay? Because down at the bottom, there's not a lot of twisties left, right? They're very, very close to the base. So I'm going to go in there and I'm literally going to tuck the stem behind the bow, bring the flower in front of it, and then I'm just going to do what I did before with the bow and just bring it around. And then it's on the center of the bow, but it's also attached in there with a pipe cleaner, so it ain't going anywhere. I swear, pipe cleaners and zip ties are our best friends. And Diet Coke. All right. There we go. There we go. That. I do also want to hit this with some glue. So I'm going to make sure that the pipe cleaner and the mesh are both, that's all on that stem. All right. And again, it's not shoved in there so much that it's deforming the loops. Now this kind of keeps coming down a little bit. So what I like to do sometimes is I'm going to add a little dab of glue in there, bend it, and then I'm going to add just a tiny little dab of glue down there, a little bit. And that way when I fold it back over, it's going to stay put now. Okay. There we go. All right. So we have those done. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the next thing we're going to do is talk glitter leaves. So I have some of the gold and I have some of this color. Now, I don't think I'm going to leave it all in one piece because as nice as that would be, the height disparity between that, like if I maybe, I don't know. Let me shove one in here and take a look. I'm just kind of shoving it down there, just temporarily, just to kind of see what I think. You see how like that's like really, really high. I could leave these two together and then just do this. So I could have two groups of, like I could have groups of twos and ones, which I think I may end up doing. That way I can kind of really break it out more with the silver as well. All right. I had two of those ended up, they were a little deformed. They didn't have glitter on them where they were supposed to, so I can't use two of those, but all right, so let's try that. I didn't get the price tags off of these. These were $2.99 a piece at the Hoblob. All right. Plus, I have these fun little ones too. So let's kind of see what we're going to do. Because there's that gold comes up that high, I kind of want to start over here with some gold. Okay. So I'm going to add some glue down at the bottom here. All right. Sorry, you're looking at my head. I know. Sorry. All right, I'm just going to bring that right back in here. But then we can also take that and just kind of do a little wraparound, right? Just added support. So the glue is going to be in there, but this helps add a little bit extra support. And then these two, if we're not using them, we can bend these in. We can snip them off. I'll kind of do that more toward the end once I know I'm doing something like that. But I know I want to carry up some height here. Okay. So let's take a look at our two-piece silver. Oh, this one's kind of jacked up too. Crap. All right, that one's a little jacked up too. That one's good, that one's not. All right, let me just cut another one real quick. All right. Okay, so we separate these out. Okay, and I'm just going to cut off. So I've got two pieces and then the one piece. Okay, I want a lot of coverage up here, so I'm going to be using the one that has the 2 pieces on it. Trying to go right in here. What I can even do is, literally, I'm putting the stick in there. I'm just going to twist and wrap this now. Okay. Wrap it around there. Go around to the back. And kind of push it down if I want to. Right? Push it down a little more. But I wanted that to come up kind of even with that. That'll come up there. Now I'm going to go back and hit it with the glue. Just to make sure that it is staying. All right. There we go. There. I like that. Now we're going to kind of keep going down, kind of doing the same thing. Now I only have 3 left of these, so I have to be a little sparing with where I'm going to put these, but I'm going to cut them like I did the other one, 2 pieces and 1 piece. Because when I do, if I were to pull these off by themselves, they're very skinny pieces, and I don't know how well that would adhere because this is not like a true pine wreath or a true pine swag. So I want to kind of keep it where I've got enough to work with where it's not going to fall out. Tina did this exact color palette for a tree install. Awesome. It was like I was reading your mind. That is awesome. Okay, so we're going to have some of that there. Let's talk about bringing some down. Because there's a lot of gold over here and gold over here, I think maybe we're going to have to bring some into here. So let's talk. Because I don't want it all to be in the back, right? I need to have some of this coming up and out, right? So we want some of that. All right. There's actually a lot of stem on this. I don't think I need that much stem. Let me cut some off. All right. Because again, I'm going to try to leverage these. They're there. We might as well use them, right? All right. Sticking my fat old head in there. Okay, so I twisted it. Now I'm going to go in and hit it with the glue. All right. So we got that in there. I also want to spread these out a little bit. There we go. There we go. Because I'm trying to also stay with the teardrop shape. Okay. So maybe one leaf can kind of go back and the other one kind of starts coming toward the front a little bit. I like that. All right. There's another one. So we had gold, gold. So I'm going to bring some gold right in here. Probably. So maybe right in there underneath that ornament. Yeah. All right. That could be good. All right. I'm just twisting that around there. Pushing that in until I like it. Okay. Now I'm going to hit it with the glue. This to me is safer. I run less risk of me burning myself. And if you've watched me, you know what I do. I burn the crap out of myself, and then I try not to swear, and then I fail at that. All right. I am going to add a little bit of glue underneath here because I want to make sure that I'm hitting that and staying sideways. So right now I'm holding that there so it's going to adhere to the mesh. Okay. Don't really try to come from behind too much because you don't know if that glue is going through the mesh and you're going to burn yourself. So please be very careful if you do that. Now I'm doing the same thing over here just to make sure that it just helps to keep in place so it doesn't go swinging around and doing some crazy stuff. Look what I found in my wreath. The plastic. All right. Curl that under. Oh, that was supposed to be here. Fold it twice, Linda. There we go. There we go. That's better. I like that better now. All right. Let's figure out, we got a couple more to go with the gold. I want to start bringing some in here. Okay. So this is just a single piece. So I'm going to put the glue on there. I'm going to bring it in, and I'm making sure that I'm hitting those silver tines. There we go. I'm also going to go grab another glue stick. There we go. Well, okay, let's grab another one that I'm not going to drop on the floor. Yeah. All right. Sorry, it's hard to do a swag on a live. Because I know I'm in the way a lot. Okay, that's there. Keep adding in a little bit more of this, and then we're going to go. I think I want to put some in here. Okay. Because we don't want it all to be on the sides. It has to be woven in and kind of attached in with everything else. So just going to wrap this around it a couple times in the back. There we go. Perfect. And now it covers those silver things. And we can even glue the loops onto these. And once we're done, add a little dab of glue just to make sure that they don't move so much. I'll totally do that too. All right, we've got 1, 2, 3 gold leaves left. Plus these. Okay, so some gold in there. I think perhaps, well, there's gold there, so I think we need to come down here and add some down there. Okay. I'm actually going to do that with the one that's got the 2 on here. All right. Let's separate these out because I want a little bit more coverage because it's kind of on the side. All right. So we're going to do that. All right. Get in there, baby. There we go. All right. And I like that. I will put like a gold one kind of on the other side as well. But I want to see a little bit coming down here too. But I think maybe on that side. All right. So I always want to have something down here by the bow, not just a bow, but you know, some other goodies kind of poking through. So there we go. Got a little bit, just a little bit kind of, you can see it through there. We'll add some gold on the other side. It is hard. I got to step back for a second and kind of take a look. I need something right here. That's where the last piece is going to go. Right into there. All right. Awesome. Now I'm going to go back and talk silver. Silver and gold. Silver and gold. I heard that in the car on the way to the dentist yesterday. Maybe that's what inspired me to get this. I don't know. Okay. And like, I'm not going to put way too much in this either. I just don't want it to be like super, super overdone. There we go. Okay, I like that. I have a tendency to put stuff in and then feel like it's enough and then go back and add more and more and more and more and more and more. And then it gets to be a little much. So I want to go in there. That is just being stubborn. But that's okay because we're going to wrap that in there and hit that with glue. All right. That's why these little tinsel things are so nice, because you can just bend them. They're not just for show. It's holding all the stuff in there. All right. There we go. I do have significantly more gold or silver, so we're okay when it comes to that. I just forgot to take the price tags off of the silver. All right. Thanks, guys, for hanging in there with me. I know I've been going at this for quite a while. This is kind of a longer one. What time is it? 8:17. Oh, my gosh. Haven't eaten dinner. Bladder relief pill has not yet kicked in. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. All right. Bring this in. Wrap that branch around it first. I think I want the bow in front of it. There we go. There we go. Okay, now we need to put some over there. Okay. Just wrapping it around there. There's already been some glue, so now I put that on there. And this is going to kind of come toward the front a little bit more, so it's not in the back. You don't want to cover that, right? You want to be able to see that still. But I need more over here, so we're gonna hit up that one. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna hit that up next. Okay. It needs some back here. I just feel like I gotta hit that with the glue gun too. I don't think I got. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I'm gonna take this. See, guys, I'm just gonna wrap it around twice. Really help make sure it's in there, and then I'm gonna hit it with glue. And then I can, because it's wired, I can change the position of it as long as it's glued onto that branch. And that branch is movable. There. Now that way there's silver right behind this gold, and now it really pops. All right, we got holes here. Definitely got to put some in here. Get in there. Get on in there. There you go. There you go, baby. Good girl. Good girl. I don't know why I'm talking to it like it's my dog. And now we got to put some down here too. Sorry, I should have lowered the camera angle. I know it's kind of harder to see what's down low. Some of these actually, I thought it was chocolate smeared on here. It turns out it's actually the color of the plastic, and that glitter did not adhere to it. I was like, when did I get chocolate on this? I haven't touched it. No. I even tried like tasting it. And I'm like, it doesn't taste like anything. Because I was trying to eat. Because I was trying to eat plastic. I never said I was smart. All right. I feel like I need something right here. Hold on. Hold on, I'm going in here. Yeah, there we go. It was just too naked there, and I know it's a little naked over here too, so I'm gonna bring some silver in. on that side. All right, but I'm going down here with the two-piece. Ooh, ooh, ooh! I just burnt my finger. Ooh, 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 ooh. There we go. All right. I just need a little bit more down there. And then we are definitely missing a whole bunch on this side. So let's do that. And then we have our little champagne colored firework things. All right, we're going right behind this pine cone next over here on the left-hand side. You're getting resistance. It's like my child and I've asked it to do homework. It's not cooperating. All right, I'm going to change where it was going. I'm going to have to go up a little bit. There we go. There. So now I'm kind of able to bring one of those branches up and one of those branches down, which is nice. All right, where else? All right, I've got a single one here. Okay. Cutting some more silver. I do have, I did have white that I could have put in there, but I think there's enough white already. So I didn't want to go that route. I really wanted to keep it with kind of like the silver and gold. Okay. Right here is where I'm going to put one of these that has two. Take a little bit more off though. But sometimes you really just got to step away from the whole thing and take a look and like, okay, where do I have holes? Where is this not? Where is it does not feel cohesive? Boy, this is really hard to do on the other side. Taking it out, doing it again. Sorry. It's always harder to do when I'm on a live too, It's like people are watching. The anxiety. But you know what? I like to show that because I want people to be able to see, like, it's not like we all struggle. We all struggle. Sometimes it ain't as easy as it looks like on TV. Okay, I need a little bit more down there for sure. Gosh, I am really hungry. Get in there, you piece of crap. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. I'm telling you where to go. Oh, shit! Well, it just got its revenge on me now, didn't it? Oh. All right, let's try that again, and I won't swear at it this time. Sorry, I said bad word. I said bad word. Newsflash, I say bad words all the time. So, yeah, sorry. All right, I got it kind of in there. Yeah, that's okay. That's good. Just got to make sure I get there. I just got to add some extra glue. Man, I can't believe that thing almost went over. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. That was kind of scary, I'm not going to lie. My life flashed before my eyes. And I said, oh Lord. All right, I'm taking a step back right now, and I'm kind of looking, trying to see where else do I need, and right here definitely needs, I need some touches of gold. So I'm going to go in with these gold, I'm calling them fireworks picks. I don't really know what they are, what they're called. But I definitely want to add in some, oh my gosh, I love those. I bought those in black too, by the way. Got those also in black. I got a whole bunch in here. I think I bought like 12. Hopefully I'm not going to use all 12 because they were $2.99 a piece. So, you know, not cheap. But that was the tag price. You know we don't pay that. We don't pay that, my friends. All right. It just needed a little more touch of gold over here, I thought, you know. And I wish I could kind of separate those out a little bit. There we go. Kind of push the back a little more, bring that out. Better. Better. All right. Stick can go down under there. All right. Now I know I want to bring some of these up to the top for sure. Probably right back there because I got all that silver. Wanted to hit it with a little gold. Okay, so we got, actually maybe we'll bring that more toward the, kind of behind here more because again, I want that silver in front of the, or behind the gold bow. All right. I definitely also want to put one over on the side right in here, but kind of more toward the back a little bit. All right. There we go. I just needed a little hint of gold to come popping out from there. Oh, I've got one stuck to my boob. That was weird. All right, I have 3 of these left. Apparently I used more of these than I thought. So let's figure out where we want to put these. I have pop there, 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 there. Maybe a little more. I haven't glued this yet, so there's no glue. I'm just kind of setting it in here to see what I think. No, but it could, yes, but it has to be more behind the bow, not in front. Or actually, maybe even more underneath, behind here. Okay, I know where I'm going. I know where I'm going with it. So I'm going kind of behind. I'm going behind this round ornament. Oh, fudge, fudge, fudge. Hot glue burn. Another burn, another burn. Darn. Okay, we had that one there. I just needed to see a little bit more kind of coming out from under there. I was saving this particular one because it cascades down really nicely. I'm going under the bow so it can kind of come out. It'll kind of be like between. There we go. We just needed a little bit of something extra down there, a little zhuzhi. All right, I have one left. I think it's going to be on this side. I think it's going to be here. Yep, it's going to be there. It spoke to me. It told me, Linda, put me there. And I said, okay. There I go. Get in there, get in there. Go, 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 go. Okay. All right. Now, so I want to put a little bit of glue there. I just want to make sure that that loop ain't going to move. So I just put a tiny little dab of glue there. I don't normally like doing that, but I did this time. And that's going to go. I just put a little bit of dab of glue on one of those silver branches. I'm just going to kind of, just to give it a little extra support, right? Okay. I think, let me clear everything off here. Let me take a step back. But make sure it hangs. Yep. Okay. I am done. Dun, 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 dun. Yay. Okay, all in all, I think I was adding it up, and I think this probably used about $96 in materials. I originally had it at $77, but then I ended up putting more in with more glitter leaves and whatnot. So that's kind of how much I spent on it. I hope you guys like it. I love it. I am going to be listing this in my shop. I don't know if Facebook restricts me if I mention what my shop name is, but if you follow me, it's basically, my name is Sweet Ari Decor, and I have a shop on ETSY. I also have links to it all over. I'll have links, but if you follow me on Facebook, I'll always give links in the comments to where you guys can find this. I'm also going to post this tutorial. I'm going to download it, and it's going to go on my YouTube channel because it will leave here after 30 days. So I always have a nice library over there of things I've done in the past. I've been recently doing a lot more videos of my wreath kits, so that there are now 2 more videos that go along with some of the thin wreath kits. And I've even added an option this afternoon to most of my wreath kits, where for a little bit extra, you can choose whether or not you want me to cut your materials. That is just talking about the mesh and the ribbon tails. I'm not leaving everything else for the bow. So everybody can kind of make their own, because I don't know what style, what they want to do. Do they want 3 little bows? So I was on their own with the bows. But if people want, I will cut their materials for you. All right. Awesome. Let me give you just kind of another, here we go. Let me take it off here. Let me get a close little look. Okay, here we go. Ooh, ooh. Here's the bottom. Yay. Ooh. All right. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. I'm an introvert, and I never had a lot of friends growing up, so it's so awesome to have people watching and interacting with me, and I get to know you guys, which I love, because I'm a lonely widow and I have not a lot of friends. So it is fantastic for me to be able to meet other people and like-minded people too. Like, you know, when you see like a fancy roll of ribbon, like, and you start drooling at the mouth, like, we're that kind of people. So we get each other, right? I get you. I hope you guys get me. Sorry, I swore when I burnt myself, but the glue gun was asking for it. All right. Take care, everybody. And I hope you guys have a fantastic night. I'm going to go make some tomato cage trees for my show next weekend, but I will see you on Monday again at noon Central for Monday Crafternoons. All right. Thank you so much, my sweeties. I love you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. You can follow me all over social media, and you can shop my store at sweetariadecor.com.